What if the man who lit up the modern world was never given the spotlight himself? What if the light bulb, the single most iconic invention of progress, was perfected not by Edison, but by someone history pushed into the shadows? This man was not born into privilege. He was not backed by powerful investors. He began life in a society that told him he should never learn, never dream, and never succeed. And yet, his hands, his mind, and his unbreakable spirit gave Edison's invention its eternal flame. His story is one of poverty, perseverance, and brilliance. But his name? Almost erased. He was born in 1848. His parents were formerly enslaved. Freedom had only just begun for his family, but it was fragile, uncertain. As a child, he had no wealthy tutors, no laboratories, no mentors guiding him into science. Instead, he learned by sheer willpower, teaching himself skills, sketching, reading, absorbing everything he could. When the Civil War erupted, this boy was just 16. He joined the U.S. Navy, not for glory, but because it was his only path forward. Imagine him, a teenager, standing on the deck of a warship, staring at the horizon, not knowing if the future held opportunity or more chains. When the war ended, he returned to civilian life with nothing but determination. He took a job as an office boy at a patent law firm, just another young black man in post-war America, overlooked, underestimated. But inside, his genius was boiling. He watched engineers and inventors bring in their ideas, describing wonders to patent clerks. He couldn't afford formal schooling, but he listened, studied, and learned every detail. Soon, he taught himself mechanical drawing. This wasn't just doodling. This was the art that turned ideas into blueprints, the bridge between imagination and invention. One day, his boss noticed his sketches. They weren't just good. They were flawless, precise, professional. And in that moment, the boy who had started at the bottom was promoted to draftsman. It was his first step toward destiny. Years later, his path crossed with Thomas Edison. The world remembers Edison as the Wizard of Menlo Park, but even wizards have limits. Edison's bulb could flicker to life, yes, but it couldn't last. Filaments burned out in minutes, sometimes seconds. It was a showpiece, not a revolution. That's when this man stepped forward. Using his gift for both science and artistry, he designed a filament of carbon that could burn for hours instead of minutes. Not just that, he invented a way to manufacture these filaments efficiently, making the light bulb practical for every home, every street, every city. Edison became the face. This man became the ghost behind the curtain. But this wasn't just about invention, it was about identity. At a time when African Americans faced relentless racism, he worked in laboratories where his skin color made him an outsider. His brilliance was undeniable, yet recognition denied. His patents existed, his drawings survived, but history's spotlight skipped over him. Imagine watching your ideas change the world while someone else received the glory. Imagine carrying the weight of brilliance, knowing the world might never speak your name. And yet he didn't stop. His mind kept pushing forward. He worked with Alexander Graham Bell, drafting the very drawings that would secure Bell's telephone patent. Without his steady hand, Bell's dream might have remained an idea, not a reality. He designed improvements for air conditioning, making rooms bearable in the heat. He improved railroad bathroom systems, bringing dignity to travelers. His fingerprints touched nearly every corner of modern comfort. He was not just an inventor. He was a builder of the modern world. So who was he? The boy who taught himself to draw. The sailor who returned from war with nothing. The man who lit Edison's bulb. And the genius history almost buried. His name was Lewis Howard Latimer. Lewis Latimer rose from the son of enslaved parents to a man whose ideas shaped the modern age. He fought prejudice not with anger, but with creation. He refused to be silenced, even if history tried to mute his name. Every time you flick on a light, you are not just honoring Edison, you are witnessing Latimer's gift. His story proves that genius can shine through even the darkest times. that no barrier, poverty, racism, obscurity, can extinguish the fire of true brilliance. And today, his name deserves to burn as brightly as the light he helped bring into the world. Lewis Latimer, the forgotten genius who turned Edison's spark into eternal light.